Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever said a word correctly, but people still do not understand you? It's not your accent, it's not your grammar. The real reason is syllable stress, right? In today's video, I'll show you how native speakers stress words and how Indian English often stresses the wrong syllable and how you can fix it with super easy techniques. So let's start. Let's first understand what syllables are, right? Syllable is just a beat in a word. So every word has more than one beat, which is more than one syllables. Let's look at these examples. Cat, one syllable. Table, two syllables. And when we are counting syllables, always talking about or I'm talking about vowel sounds, right? The number of times you hear a vowel sound in a word, that's your number of syllables. Third, computer, three syllables, right? Or, chu, ni, ti, five syllables. So now in English, one syllable is always stronger than the other syllables. And that's called, the stronger syllable is here called the stress. What is syllable stress, right? And how does it work? Let's look at this. When we stress a syllable, we make it louder, longer, clearer, and high in pitch. For example, photo, photo. For the pitch goes high, to pitch comes down, right? So your first syllable here, right? One vowel sound. The pitch goes higher when you say photo. You wouldn't say photo, right? Photo. So if you incorrectly place your syllables, that will change the meaning of your word. So in English, wrong stresses can confuse the listener, and this is why syllable stress are important, right? For example, correct, but it's incorrect. You do not stress on the first syllable here. There are rules which we're going to talk about as well. So it's correct. That's the right pronunciation. The word table, you don't say table, right? Table. Record. Here, if you're stressing on the second syllable, record. That's a verb, doing an action. Record. That's a proper noun, so you're stressing on the first syllable. If you say record, same word, record, but where you place the syllable changes the meaning of the word. Now we are going to look at the rules. Okay, once you understand how to count the syllables, whenever you have a two-syllable word, and if it's a noun, you're always going to stress on the first syllable. Table, window, student, money. For next rule, let's say you have two-syllable words, but it's a verb, right? Then you're always going to stress on the second syllable. For example, relax, explain, decide, return. So you see the stress is on the second syllable here when it's two-syllable word and the word is a verb. Now let's look at rule number 3. Whenever you have words ending with tion, sion, or cian, always stress on the syllable before the end. For example, information, right? Musician, location, right? So you always stress on the syllable before the last syllable here. If you have words which are ending in, let's say, IC, always stress on the syllable before IC. For example, electric, geographic, dramatic, right? Drama is stressed, tick. dramatic. Now, you also have compound nouns. Whenever you see compound nouns, always stress on the first word. When I say compound nouns, words are nothing but words made up of two words. For example, black. Black is a word. Board. Board is a word. So you're always going to stress on the first word here. Blackboard. Postman. Football. Right? Those are compound words, compound nouns. So ensure whenever you have compound nouns, you always stress on the first word. Now let's look at some of the Indian mistakes. The English that we speak, where we make mistakes. We always try to stress on the last syllable, even if it's noun. For example, hotel. Right? It's hotel. Police. It's police. Police. Right? Don't stretch it, drag it too much. Otherwise, again, the word meaning is going to change, or the stress is not going to come right. The other mistake that we usually make is either we stress equally on every syllable, or our stress is too strong or too weak on the words. Right? Let's take the example of information. So we might say information. Right? It's information. Okay. Now we're going to talk about, let's say, how to find stresses in any word. There are different ways you can find a number of syllables in a word, right? For example, you can look at the dictionary. There are always, you're going to find the syllables which are stressed. There's another method which is a clap method. So every time you hear a vowel sound in a word, clap. Right? Banana. Banana. 3 times you heard the vowel sound, which means it has three syllables. So you stress on the second syllable here. Banana. Not banana, banana. Right? Then you have chin method. So what you do is every time you hear fall, to, gra, fi, 4 syllables, or ba, na, na. Every time your chin touches the hand, the fingers, that's your syllable. So the number of times your chin touches, that number of syllables you have in the word. That's one of the methods. Listening is you listen to a word and try to figure out, how many vowel sounds it has. Depending on that, how, when you consider the rule here, you would stress on the correct syllable or the strongest syllable there, and that becomes your stress. All right. So let's practice few words. Important. Important. Right? Customer. 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 All right. So go ahead. Let me know in the comment section if it made sense to you. If not, I've just kept it very, very, very simple for beginners to use. But if you want to understand syllables in detail and understand all the rules that's there, put in the comment section, and I will make another video which will be in complete detail, and you can go ahead and watch that. And if it's helpful, please go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and I will see you in the next video.